नमस्ते, आप सभी का बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। आज हमारा भगवत गीता का चैप्टर 4 है, तो हम आज का ये चैप्टर स्टार्ट करते हैं। आज का जो चैप्टर है उसमें हम क्या करेंगे? ज्ञान कर्म संन्यास योग। बिफोर दिस चैप्टर, व्हाट वी लर्न? हु विल टेल मी व्हाट वाज द टीचिंग ऑफ थर्ड चैप्टर?
कर्म योग।
यस, कर्म योग means we can't live without action or without karma. If you are not doing anything, then also you are doing actions, right? And today is Jnana Karma Sannyas Yoga. This chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita teaches us that when action is performed with wisdom and awareness, it becomes path of liberation. That means detachment, freedom. Lord Krishna explains that he manifests from time to time to protect dharma and restore righteousness. Right? This chapter inspires us to understand that actions performed with a spirit of surrender to the divine do not bind us. Right? Instead, they become a means of purifying the soul. That means if we are doing our work with wisdom, whatever we are doing, if we are aware we are doing wrong or right, then we liberate. We will not uh, we will not get the wrong path. That's why Krishna says always be aware, be in consciousness. If you are doing your work without your consciousness, doing whatever you are, whatever is wrong, whatever is not wrong, right. So, what will happen? You will bind in the karma, and again you will get birth on this earth, right? So, starting this chapter, before everything, close your eyes, be with you, leave every efforts, every work, every thought, be with your breath, because this breath is the only thing which is your guide. Focus on your breath. Invoke Lord Krishna. Hey Krishna, show me the path. Show me the light. I am in your shelter. I am offering my all actions in your hands. Invoke your all deities, angels, grandmasters. Feel the presence. Feel the presence of life force, the energy which is protecting you. Slowly come back, open your eyes. Why we do this 2 or 3 minutes silence? What are you getting from this? Is there any difference in the from beginning?
Yes, this is more peaceful,
Hmm.
more focused compared to the first day to today.
Yes,
You can focus what you are telling to focus. Exactly, we are getting that thing.
right. Actually, whenever we take this 2 or 3 minutes, we get the stillness and we stay where we want, right? Otherwise, our mind get messed. So it is necessary. And when we invoke our deities, our lords, their energy, then they really support you, right? So the yoga of knowledge and the renunciation of action. Let go karna hai, right? Liberation. So act in the world, but let wisdom transform the consciousness behind your action. जो करना है करें, but with your awareness. In every moment, we should be aware of everything. For this, you can do one thing. After 1 hour, sit and think. If I am aware what I am doing. Clear? So this wisdom is ancient and Krishna begins by telling Arjuna that this eternal yoga was taught by him to Vivasvana, the sun deity. It is not like from the Dwapar Yuga only. It was very ancient. So then passed through a lineage of teachers and kings. But with the time, this wisdom become lost. Why? Because people never take everything sincerely, right? We listen and forget. Listen and forget. So Krishna is now revealing that again to Arjuna because Arjuna is both his devotee and friend. Whenever you are giving your devotion, you are surrendering to your God or universe, then he supports you. He come to guide you. You have seen it many times. Whenever you surrender, you call him, then he comes. Right? So same with Arjuna. Arjuna's left everything and is requesting, please, Krishna, show me the path, what I have to do. So, and other hand, he was also his friend. But with the friendship, he was devotee also. Right? So, what is the teaching behind it? Spiritual wisdom can be forgotten. You know it? Spiritual wisdom can be forgotten not because truth disappears, but because human beings become identified with ego, desire, fear, attachment, selfish actions, and ignorance. What is ignorance? Ajnanata. Ignore the things. Ajnanata. Right? Because we have these negative things, that's why we forget everything. These are the layers we put on ourselves. So, being spiritual, also we forget everything. Right? Understand? So in this chapter, this is also remembering what we already are at the deepest level. You will go in deep at what level you are. Okay? What truth about myself have I forgotten? You have to ask it yourself. You close your eyes and ask yourself. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. And ask yourself, what truth about myself have I forgotten? Perhaps I am more than my roles. I am more than my relationships. I am more than my body. I am more than my past. I am not every thought that arises in my mind. My worth does not depend upon another person's approval. Are you getting this? So Krishna reveals his divine nature. Krishna saying to Arjuna, go deep into yourself and ask. Now Arjuna asks an important question. If Krishna existed before Arjuna's time, how could Krishna have taught this wisdom to the sun deity? Means he is asking, how is it possible? You are here, your body is here, then how it is possible you gave this wisdom to the sun, deity sun, right? So Krishna explains that although he is unborn and eternal, he manifests whenever righteousness declines and unrighteousness rises. This is one of the most famous teachings of Gita. यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. Right? So, why does divine consciousness manifest? This was the answer. To protect dharma, destroy destructive forces, restore balance, guide humanity back toward truth. But this can also be understood internally. There are moments when our own inner dharma becomes weak. Like, why our inner dharma weak? For example, fear becomes stronger than courage. That means your dharma is becoming weak. Ego becomes stronger than wisdom. And many times, anger becomes stronger than compassion. Attachment becomes stronger than truth. At such moments, we need an inner awakening. What should I do at that time? Because these are the negative frequencies which conquer our positivity. We conquer our actions. So we come in the shelter of God. Whenever dharma declines, this teaching can become very personal. Instead of asking, when will God come and fix the world? Ask, where has dharma declined within me? If something is going wrong with you, then ask yourself, where is dharma declined within me? What I am doing wrong? Where I have to focus or where I have to give my awareness? Where am I betraying myself? Acting from fear? Where I am holding resentment? Where I am seeking validation? Controlling outcomes? Living according to other people's expectations and forgetting my spiritual nature. Many times we forget our spiritual nature, right? This becomes a powerful self-awareness practice. So the mastery of divine action, Krishna explains that one who truly understands his divine birth and action does not remain trapped in ordinary rebirth. This is the beautiful teaching. The deeper teaching is when consciousness becomes established in truth, our actions stop being driven by ego. When consciousness becomes established in truth, our action stops being driven by ego. We still act, we still work, we still fulfill responsibilities, but the inner motive changes. Instead of what will I get, we begin asking what is right. And instead of will people appreciate me, we ask, can I offer this action sincerely? We know four varnas. The Krishna speaks about the fourfold social order based on qualities and actions. The important spiritual principle here is that human beings have different tendencies, qualities, capacities, responsibilities. But the deeper lesson is do your dharma according to your nature. Do your dharma according to your nature rather than constantly comparing yourself with someone else's path. Because every person is unique. So you should not compare yourself with other persons because their path may be different and you are different. So focus on yourself, not on others. This is very relevant with this knowledge. We suffer when we constantly think, why I am not like her or him. So this wisdom brings us back to what is my path. Whenever you come in consciousness or awareness, you focus on your things or your work, your actions. So again, what is karma? What is vikarma? What is akarma? This was the question by Arjuna. This is the one of the deepest section of this chapter 4. Krishna says that even wise people become confused about action. So what is karma? Rightful action is karma. And what is vikarma? Action that goes against dharma. That means if you are comparing yourself with other persons, you are thinking about other persons, that means you are going opposite to your dharma. What is this? This is akarma. Vikarma, right? So, and what is akarma? Freedom from karmic bondage even while action is happening. This is subtle. And this is really very subtle. Akarma does not simply mean doing nothing. Akarma means you are doing nothing. What is it? You may be extremely active externally while remaining inwardly free. What is it? It is a detachment. For example, you help someone if the mind says, now they must appreciate me. Here, attachment has entered. But if you help sincerely and release the expectation, I offer this action and release the result, there is a greater inner freedom. That means it is detachment. So the secret of Karma Yoga, this connects directly with chapter 3. What was the chapter 3 teaching? Act without attachment to the fruits. We should do our best. But don't think about the fruits. So now in this chapter 4, we go deeper. Understand the true nature of the doer, action and divine reality. The action continues, but the egoic claim, I alone am doing everything. I am alone doing everything begins to dissolve. We destroy this thing. That means here we are not doer. Doer is someone else who is the God. You are the only medium who is doing it. Whenever you think it, then you will become detached with your actions. You are doing a karma. And at that time, you will free with these karmas. Karma bandhana. But it is very difficult. But whenever we become spiritual and we go in the shelter of God, we offer everything, we surrender ourselves, then we detached with everything. And we free with these karmas, karma bandhanas. So knowledge burns karma. If you get knowledge, then you burn your karmas. One of the most powerful teaching of this chapter 4 is that wisdom burns ignorance just as fire burns fuel. ज्ञान से अज्ञान को काटा जा सकता है. This does not mean that we can intellectually erase consciousness of harmful actions. If you are doing harmful action, then you will get the fruit also. So don't think if you are harming someone, you will escape or you will rescue yourself. Rather, spiritual knowledge transforms the consciousness that creates bondage. When ignorance is removed, we stop repeatedly creating the same patterns. जब आपको ज्ञान मिल जाता है तो जो रिपीटेड पैटर्न्स होते हैं वो क्रिएट होने बंद हो जाते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, if your old pattern is trigger, then you will get anger, after that reaction, and then guilt and repetition. The same process will continue if you are not getting the wisdom. And if you are aware, what will happen? Someone trigger you, you observe that person or the situation, you understand, and after that you give the conscious response. And this is a freedom, right? That is the movement from unconscious karma toward wisdom. From unconscious karma towards wisdom. So sacredness of action, Krishna teaches that when action is performed with dedication, wisdom, surrender, selflessness, and discipline, action itself becomes a sacred offering. This is the heart of spiritual living. How? This is example like cooking can be offering, teaching can become an offering, parenting can become an offering, working can become an offering, helping someone can become offering. Even ordinary responsibilities can become a spiritual practice. So, if you are doing anything, offer everything. After that, he teaches different forms of yagna. He describes many forms of sacrifices of yagna, not only fire rituals. There are sacrifices such as control of the senses, discipline, study, meditation, breath practices, offering material possession, services, knowledge. And Krishna ultimately emphasizes knowledge as one of the highest form of yajna. Because when knowledge transforms consciousness, everything else begins to change. Whenever we do yajna, what we do? We offer long, ilaichi, samagri, and many things we offer to the fire. Here, this yajna is like we should burn our all negativities. We should offer everything which is not serving us. That is the yajna. So Krishna is saying, give me whatever is not serving you. I will burn everything and you will get the protection. This is the yajna. Right? So everything will become change. One of the most important verse in Bhagavad Gita 4.3 3:4. Here, Krishna advises approaching those who have released truth with humility. They realized humility, sincere inquiry, and service. This gives us three beautiful qualities. Humility, I don't know everything. Inquiry, I genuinely want to understand. Service, I am willing to give what I learned. Spiritual knowledge is not acquired simply by collection information. This is important thing, that spiritual knowledge is not acquired by simply by collecting information. It is embodied. It has to be embodied. If you are not following, if you are not implementing all these, that means it is waste. Waste of time and wastage of knowledge. If you are getting some knowledge, then implement everything in your life, in your daily actions. Krishna says that once true knowledge is attained, one no longer sees reality in the same divided way. One begins seeing the deeper unity of existence. The person who has wisdom develops clarity, discrimination, compassion, equanimity, freedom from unnecessary fear, freedom from egoic attachment. This is the deep knowledge. Krishna says that the person who has faith plus dedication plus control of the senses, that person attains knowledge and peace. But doubt can become a destructive force when it is not used for sincere inquiry. There is difference between healthy questioning, I want to understand, and destructive doubt. What is? Nothing can be trusted, including myself. If you are always in doubt, that means you are always on the destructive path. So this chapter encourages us to move from confusion toward clear understanding. Krishna is again and again saying, keep the knowledge, attain the knowledge, and implement. So final teaching of Krishna is that Krishna concludes by asking Arjuna to destroy doubt through the sword of knowledge and rise to action. This is extremely important. The Gita does not end with sit quietly and escape life. It says gain wisdom and then act. So if we say this in one sentence, that wisdom transforms the way you act, surrender the ego behind your actions, and allow divine consciousness to guide yourself, to guide your life. Now you can come back. Now we will go for the meditation. If you want to ask something, you can ask, or you get everything. This was in very brief. So we will go for the meditation. Shake your body like this. Shake. Shake your body. Neck. Remove your stress. Release everything. Shake your legs. Okay, now take a deep breath in and deep breath out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Sit comfortably. Keep your spine gently upright. Close your eyes. Place your hands softly on your lap. Again, take a deep, slow breath in. Slowly breathe out. And again, breathe in deeply and release. One more time. Inhale and exhale completely. Now silently say, I am willing to see what I have been unable to see. I am willing to see what I have been unable to see. Entering the inner temple, bring your awareness to your heart. Imagine that you are entering a beautiful inner temple. There is silence, there is peace, and in the center of this temple is a gentle flame. This is the flame of wisdom. Watch it. Don't force anything. Simply observe this flame. The flame of knowledge. Imagine placing your unconscious patterns before this flame. Your fear, your anger, your attachment, your need for approval, your comparison, your guilt, your old stories, expectations, disappointment, desire to control. You don't have to fight them. Simply place them before the flame and silently say, I am willing to understand. I am willing to see clearly. I am willing to see clearly. May ignorance become wisdom. May ignorance become wisdom. Now ask the flame, who am I beyond my roles? Who am I beyond my roles? Now bring your awareness to the different identities you carry. I am a woman. I am a daughter. I am a wife. I am a mother. I am a professional. I am a teacher. I am a friend. I am this body. I am this personality. Observe each identity which you have and gently ask, who am I when I am not performing any role? Who am I when I am not performing any role? And now ask, who is the one witnessing all these roles? Who is the one witnessing all these roles? Don't search for an intellectual answer, simply observe. Release attachment to results. Bring one situation into your awareness where you are attached to a particular outcome. अपने जीवन में अपने जीवन की एक ऐसी परिस्थिति सिचुएशन को ध्यान में लेकर आइए जहां आप किसी विशेष परिणाम की अपेक्षा से बंधे हुए हैं। उसे बिना जज किए केवल देखें। Perhaps someone's behavior, perhaps recognition, perhaps money, relationship, success, healing. See it clearly. देखें कौन सी सिचुएशन है जिससे आप बंधे हुए हैं, बहुत ज्यादा विशेष परिणाम चाहते हैं। Now imagine placing that outcome into the hands of the divine. And now say slowly, I will do what is mine to do. जो मेरे करने योग्य है मैं उसे पूरी निष्ठा से करूंगी. I release what is not mine to control. जो मेरे नियंत्रण में नहीं है उसे मैं छोड़ती हूँ. I offer my action. मैं अपने कर्म को ईश्वर को समर्पित करती हूँ. I release the result. मैं परिणाम को छोड़ती हूँ और उसे ईश्वर पर छोड़ देती हूँ. Now take a deep breath in and deep breath out. Inhale, exhale. Feel the space created inside you. Now release old karmas, patterns. Now imagine a situation that repeatedly triggers you. See the old patterns. Perhaps trigger, emotion, reaction, regret. Now imagine yourself standing outside that pattern. Whatever the pattern or the loop you are seeing again and again, the pattern in which you are trapped again and again. Now imagine yourself standing outside that pattern. Now you are witnessing it. You are not trapped inside it. You are the observer only. Now say, I am aware of the pattern. I am aware of the pattern. I am not the pattern. I can choose differently. I can choose differently. With awareness, I create new response. With awareness, I choose or I create a new response. Now breathe again. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Again, bring your attention to the heart. Imagine Krishna's presence, not necessarily as a physical form, but as divine wisdom, consciousness, and guidance. Silently ask, what action is dharmic for me now? O Lord, please show me my dharma. Don't force an answer. Wait, listen. Maybe an answer comes as a word, maybe an image, maybe a feeling, maybe nothing comes. That's okay. Simply remain receptive. Place your right hand over your heart and say, Divine wisdom, guide my thoughts. Divine wisdom, guide my thoughts, guide my words, guide my actions. May I act without ego. May I serve without expectations. May I love without possession. May I give without demanding. May I receive without attachment. Now visualize a beautiful golden light entering through the crown of your head. It moves gently through your head, throat, heart, solar plex, sacral area, your abdomen, root, and gently, finally, from your legs, from your toes, into the earth. With every exhalation, release. Whenever you are exhaling, your fear is going out. Doubt, attachment, control, old identity, unconscious patterns. And now breathe in. When you are breathing, wisdom, exhale, peace, breathe in, clarity, exhale, surrender, breathe in, divine guidance. Now place both hands over your heart and repeat slowly. I am not here merely to escape actions. I am not here to mere to escape action. I am not here merely to escape action. I am here to transform action to awareness. I act, but I release expectation. I serve, but I release expectation. I learn, but I remain humble. I question, but I do not surrender to doubt. I release the old patterns created by ignorance. I release the old patterns created by ignorance. May the fire of wisdom illuminate my path. May the fire of wisdom illuminate my path. Again, take one more deep breath in and silently say, Krishna, guide my action. Krishna, guide my action. Guide my understanding. Guide my surrender. Slowly bring awareness back to your body. Move your fingers. Move your toes. Take one final deep breath and gently open your eyes. So, what we released today, our ego, attachment to results, need for recognition, fear of failure, comparison, old patterns, unconscious reactions, excessive control, spiritual pride, doubt, and that prevents action, living from ignorance rather than awareness. And certainly, lastly, old karmic patterns and what we cultivate today. We cultivate wisdom, faith, humility, selfless action, discrimination, surrender, clarity, dharma, inner freedom. Slowly come back. Feel your body. Slowly and gradually open your eyes. And now you have to do one homework. Why am I will give these questions in the group. So you have to give answer in your copy. Okay, you write down. So if you want to give any sharing or what you felt today, you can share.
Today it was very difficult class, I can say. Means to, like when we say we release karmic patterns, we release jealousy, we release like appreciation, somebody's appreciating us. It is like, as you say, this chapter is not only for saying these things, you have to embody these things in your life. So when I was saying this, karmic patterns, so I have no idea, okay, am I releasing it or not? Don't know. But jealousy, yes, I feel. Okay, means no, I cannot say that why I feel, but it comes automatically. Okay. Then appreciation, yes, somewhere around, like in the morning, I felt like he should appreciate me, and the point he appreciated also. And then I felt, oh wow, good. So I felt really very good. Then after some time, I realized why I got a need that he should appreciate me. So that is the thing which you always say, that you have to be in your awareness. So in the morning, I realized that I am quite aware about what I am doing. So that was the same class which we did today. And it is very easy to say all these things, but to like to eliminate these one thing, fear, all these things, judgmental, this is not very easy. This is very difficult.
You are
Means to
right.
do work without any all these things, and that also peacefully, with smile. Mm, this is a big task. Means
Yes.
this is big task.
It's human mentality कि everybody wants attention.
Yes.
But here we are learning no need you have you don't need to go there.
Yes.
It's okay if nobody gives you attention or nobody gives you you don't have to expectation that no, it's okay if
Mm.
nobody sees you or nobody tells you, yeah, you are looking good or you are doing good. So actually, it's um, in the beginning also when ma'am said, think about it, you um, what you're doing or something like. Literally, I was blank that time. I'm not able to remember exactly what I am doing or what I need to ignore it or leave it because so many things are there which I need to choose. There was a confusion also. So it was like that.
Okay.
Really, it's very difficult to maintain all these things in daily life.
When I said you are not all these identities, only you are witnessing all the roles, then
Yes.
it was easy for you. Who was that person or who was that who is witnessing or observing the roles? Felt you felt it? What was the feeling at that time?
At the time, I felt how stupid you are. Like, when you can identify, you don't need it, and still you are thinking that. So how stupid of you. It was like that. So I just gave a smile, and then I just carry on my work. So it was like
When
that.
you become an observer, na, means say you are observing everything. Okay, like Anita is doing this, Anita is doing this. Okay, so someone who is observing, who is that person? We have to find that, right? It is very difficult because most of the time we are working like I am Anita. My this body is Anita. Who is teaching is Anita, right? But we have to detach with that personality and we have to find out who is observing, who is that That is the flame or the light. If we find that, then it will be great. Right?
Just wanted to say one more thing, that like before doing all these things, like before this 4 or 5 years ago, so I was not into all these things, but at that time also, when I used to feel like कि हाँ ये मैंने किया है या फिर ये मेरी वजह से हुआ है, तो immediately like within 2 hours or one day I used to get that bounce back कि ओके तेरी वजह से हुआ है क्या, फिर ये ले ले। तो मुझे वो तब भी रियलाइज होता था कि ये मैंने ऐसा बोला ना, इसीलिए मुझे ऐसा मिला है। Means at that time also, now I look back, so I say I am blessed from my birth. I can say in that way that the God is there with me all the time. Means now I can see the presence, that why all these things were happening. It is for my betterment, my goodness, and I'm blessed that I can feel all these things. I see now. Now.
Yeah, many times we think why the people are not appreciating, why the in-laws are not appreciating. We are giving our best effort, we are doing this and that whole day you are doing work, but the people are not appreciating you. They are appreciating other persons. Then you feel jealous. But that is really for your betterment. Because if they are appreciating others, that means you will improve yourself. Definitely you will improve. But improve yourself with the awareness, not with jealousy. If you improve yourself with awareness, then you will get yourself. You will get the light. You will get who is in within you. But we really, jealousy is a very genuine trait. Which, people have not only, it is not only for female, male also. And it is genuine. हाँ जी अंजलि जी.
Now I am not able to say anything. Now everything is discussed already. There is nothing to
So
say.
whatever you are doing, surrender everything. Always think you are the medium. You are chosen one. You are chosen by God, because you have that capability. You have that quality. That's why you are doing everything. Never feel guilt. If you are feeling guilt, that means you are going in the lower frequency, and whatever you want in your life, you will not get that things. Right? And today I want to ask I want to tell you one thing more. You should start gratitude again. If you have left, because I have left all these, I was doing orally. So I was observing something happening wrong in my life. Then I again start writing, right? So I'm confessing this thing beside you. So if here two people, that means you need it. Start gratitude in the morning. Write only 5 gratitude, whatever you are seeing in your room or your clothes, your specs, whatever you are seeing at that time, you start. And after that, it will be your habit. कोई ज़्यादा देर नहीं लगती है इसको करने के लिए. And after that, you will see the great change in your life. Okay, so I think we should conclude our session.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. धन्यवाद, ma'am.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.